IC ready to defend its position as PM legal team gets set to appeal court ruling. The Integrity Commission (IC) says it is ready to defend its position in any appeal filed by the legal teams of Prime Minister Andrew Holness and other claimants. This follows a ruling by the Supreme Court judge on Thursday in relation to a lawsuit brought against the IC by attorneys representing the Prime Minister. This case relates to investigations into Dr. Holness' finances. In a statement, the IC said on July 31, 2025, Ms. Justice Altidra dismissed the application by Dr. Holness and 3 connected companies to strike out part of the Director of Information affidavit as being scandalous, irrelevant, and an abuse of process. It said the judge held the evidence is relevant to the claim and that the Director of the Information had a duty to disclose the information. The judge also dismissed the claimant's application to obtain unredacted versions of the minutes and memorandum for meetings of the Commission and Committee of the Commission. The IT said the judge accepted the Commission's explanation that the minutes and memorandum included information on public officials and other business which did not relate to the claim and was therefore irrelevant. The judge also argued that disclosing this information would breach the confidentiality provisions of the Integrity Commissions Act. According to the IC, the judge refused to grant the claimants the wide disclosure they wanted of all documents prepared by 3 investigators who work on the investigation report, instead limiting the disclosure to such documents, if they exist, which contain their analysis, conclusions, and recommendations concerning the investigation and the investigation report. It added that the judge expressly refused the claimant's application for a disclosure of the resignation of one of the investigators on the basis that it was irrelevant. The Commission's application to strike out part of the claimant's claim on the basis that they were an abuse of process was largely granted. The judge agreed with the Commission's attorneys that the part of the claim that suggested the Director of Information had purportedly examined the statutory declaration for 2022 and 2023 was not correct given the court's either ruling that the Director of Information had discharged his statutory duty in relation to those declarations. Similarly, the judge struck out the part of the claim which alleged that the Commission, as opposed to the Director of Investigation, had carried out the investigation or issued the investigation report. The claimant's attorney applied for permission to appeal the decision made against them. They also appealed for the processing to be stayed pending appeal. The judge granted both applications. In the circumstances, it is unlikely that the trial of the claim, which was scheduled for October 2025, will proceed on that date. The Commission did not seek permission to appeal the judge's order, as those orders were largely consistent with its position and the submission its attorneys made. It said it would have preferred to resolve the substantial issues in the shortest possible time, but remains ready to defend its position in any appeal which the claimants filed. Russian national escaped jail time in death of 4 in motor vehicle crash. A Russian national who caused the death of 4 people in a motor vehicle crash along the Port Royal Main Road in December 2022 was spared prison time in the Home Circuit Court on Thursday. The 53-year-old had pleaded guilty to 4 counts of causing death by dangerous driving. He was fined $500,000 or 3 months imprisonment on each count. The accused was also given 7 days within which to pay the fines, which totaled $2 million. In making the case against him not to be imprisoned, his attorney, King's Counsel Peter Champagny, pointed to several mitigating circumstances. They pointed to the fact that some relatives of the victims of the accident had expressed their view that they did not wish to see the accused go to prison. He also pointed out that although money could not compensate for the loss of life, civil action had been initiated, and the insurance company of his client was prepared to consider any claims for financial compensation. Additionally, it was also noted that the Russian did not have any previous convictions and had expressed great sadness of the loss of lives. After hearing the attorney's submission, the judge ordered the fines. Those killed in the incident were Rosemary Roberts Banton, 53, Zachary Heslop, 18, taxi operator Delroy Grant, 53, and Camille Stevenson Grant. Reports were that about 5:45 a.m. on December 11, 2022, Grant was driving his Toyota Succeed motor vehicle along the roadway when, upon reaching the vicinity of the roundabout, It collided with a Toyota Prado Land Cruiser driven by the Russian. The police and the fire department were alerted, and 6 injured people were transported to hospital. Rose Banton, Heslop Grant, and Stevenson Grant were pronounced dead, while the 2 occupants of the Land Cruiser were treated and released. Man injured in Mountain View gun attack. A man was injured in a gun attack on Friday in Berker Gully, Mountain View, St. Andrew. The 42-year-old supervisor was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was admitted for treatment. It is reported that around 8:54 p.m., the man was in the area when he was shot and injured by unknown assailants. The Elliston Road Criminal Investigations Branch is probing the shooting. MP Anne-Marie Valls urges peace in Portton East amid tension over removal of political flags. Member of Parliament for Portton East Anne-Marie Valls is appealing for calm in the constituency amidst incident of political party flags being removed and destroyed. There has been tension among supporters of both major political parties arising from the removals. On Friday, the Member of Parliament decried what she described as an increase in violent activities, which she said appeared to be disrupting the peace traditionally enjoyed by residents. According to Valls, incidents of flag being ripped down, along with reports of verbal abuse and threats, are among the issues occurring in the constituency, matters she said will be brought to the attention of the police for investigation. Portton is a peaceful parish, but over the last couple of weeks, there has been incidents of threats and verbal abuse, which appear to be politically motivated, she stated. This MP will not point finger at anyone without the facts, but all I'm appealing for is peace, and this should take precedence over everything else. Remember that when the election is over, we all have to live with each other in the same communities, she added. Last week, tempers flagged among the supporters of the opposition People's National Party and the ruling Jamaica Labour Party over allegations that political flags and other things were torn down and burned. Tension over the issue remains high. Portland man fined $400,000 for introducing contraband to Buff Bay lockup. An 18-year-old man of Spring Hill, Portland, has been fined $400,000 or 2 months imprisonment for introducing contraband to the lockup of Buff Bay in the parish. Kevoy Everett appeared before the Portland Parish Court on Thursday to answer to the charge of introducing contraband to the lockup. It was heard that last Friday, Everett was held on the compound of the Buff Bay police station, where 8 transparent plastic parcels containing vegetable matter resembling ganja were found tied into a piece of wire. He was taken into custody. When interviewed by the police, he stated that he had paid $2,000 to bring the contraband to the prisoners. A search of cell 6 was immediately carried out and a cell phone was found. When Everett stood before the court, he pleaded guilty and was fined $400,000 or 2 months for introducing contraband to the Buff Bay lockup. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.